Well, now we're going to understand the concept called as psychology of a customer. So as you all know, every customer is a human being and every human being is a social being. So it's very important for us to understand the human construct as a business person, entrepreneur, as a sales commando, for you to interact with the other human being who is in a form of a customer in order to get a favorable response from him. And to understand this, we need to understand there are 7 psychological segmentation about a customer which has to be understood by every salesperson in order to ensure that he is able to relate to the other human being or a customer in a better manner. The first one is called as reciprocity. Reciprocity means every human being, whenever he is serviced, whenever something good is done to him or whatever response is given to him, he tends to reciprocate in a similar fashion. When a human being does something good, something pleasurable, he also wants to give it back in the same form, the same kind. So we have to always remember that you get what you give. Okay? What goes around comes around. So for ensuring that you are able to get the goodwill of the customer, to ensure that you are enticing positive response from the customer, ensure that you are able to give him a good experience, a good feeling, value for money, you are giving more for less, you are continuously adding value to him and his life, automatically you can expect from the perspective of the concept of reciprocity that the customer will also favor you by favoring you with an order or with a business which you desire. First one. Second one is the concept of commitment and consistency from the perspective of a psychology of a customer. But every human being, it has been known, likes people who are committed and who are consistent. So you as a business person, entrepreneur and salesperson, when you are show or exhibit commitment in your behavior, in your action, and you are consistent in your action and behavior, automatically the customer likes it. And once if a customer starts liking you, it is almost certain that he is going to favor you with the business and the order which you are looking forward to. So third point is social proof. As human beings, we always like to have proof. We don't want to be the first one to be put as a guinea pig. You want to ensure that whomsoever you are doing business with already has an experience and expertise of having done the job earlier. So he always looks for proof wherein he has seen others being satisfied with your job or having a testimonial which shows that you are competent enough, you have the capacity and you have the credential and the respect to do the job. And only when he is convinced about it, he is going to take the risk of giving you the order. So you have to always generate those social proof in terms of testimonials and references from your old customers, which can help you to win the trust of your customer and thereby get the business. From the fourth psychological component of a customer is likability. But every customer wants to deal with people whom he likes. So in selling, it's said, first you sell yourself and the product gets sold automatically. But there are certain things which customers like as a human being. Now, first one is they don't like to be criticized, condemned or complained. They like to be honestly appreciated. They like to be called by their name. They like to have a people who has got a smiling disposition. They like people who are good listeners. Most of the people like that, they talk in terms of the other man's interest. Means they like to deal with people who are basically selfless and giving and having the tendency to have generosity and gratitude. So these are some of the aspects of likability which every salesperson should consciously try to develop, practice and exhibit during his interaction with a fellow human being or customer. This is the fourth important thing of likability. Fifth aspect of psychology of a customer is the authority. That means every customer wants to deal with somebody who is an authority in that subject. And you need to ensure that you are able to exhibit that authority through your credentials, through your education, through your experience, through your bona fides. And you need to ensure that you carry those appropriate third-party references to show the customer that you are a person who is well versed, who is experienced, who has studied on this aspect of business which you are dealing in. That's where the 6 cylinders of knowledge which we will be studying in this course would be of a great help in convincing and winning the customer to your side. So remember friends, you always have to show a state of authority with your customer wherein he feels safe that he is giving his business to somebody who knows what he is doing. Friends, the 6th one is called as scarcity. Scarcity is again one of the human construct, because human beings have evolved over a period of time, right from, they say, apes. In the earlier times, human beings, which is still stored in the reptilian brain, were really struggling to get the basic need of food, shelter and clothing. So they always were afraid about their security, because they always were having the scarcity environment around. So one more important psychology of a customer is, whichever item is in scarce, he wants to possess it. So as a salesperson, as a sales commando, you have to convey to the customer that what you're offering is something not very readily available. It is something which is scarce in its commodity because of its demand, and that he has to take a decision immediately for him to be devoid of that fear of missing out, which is today called as FOMO. So you need to also work on this particular psychological component of a customer in order to ensure that the customer takes a decision immediately in order to avail of the product and services that you are offering. And the last one, my friends, is called the contrast principle. This again is one more psychological aspect of every human construct, which is what a customer is. Customer wants to possess what is denied to him. That's what this contrast principle is based on. When you tell the customer that this is beyond you, this is not available, this is out of stock, he invariably wants to possess that. Like you must be having known the usage of this particular principle by many clubs or prestigious residential unit, where they say that we sell our club membership or residential premises only on invitation. So the moment this particular invitational component comes in, there is not a ready availability of this, and there is always a barrier to your owning that. So when such a barrier or restriction is there, human beings have a tendency to crave for it. And that's what this contrast principle works on. So these are the 7 principles which every sales commando should remember to understand, learn and to master, and use it in the sales communication, sales conversation which he has with the prospective customers in order to win them over and win their business for mutual benefit. I again repeat, the 7 psychology of customers are reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, likability, authority, scarcity and contrast principles. All of them are learnable skills which any human being can consciously practice, master and use it to improve their selling effectiveness and thereby grow the business to the next level.